Hello everybody. Today, I think the Lord put it on my heart to make a video talking about the age of the universe, and specifically regarding an atheistic argument that is made that science keeps pushing back the age of the universe as we believe it to now be. I think that the current number is somewhere between 13.6 trillion or 20 trillion. I've heard different numbers. It's not really the point I'm getting at. The point is that they will say that the age of the universe is then, has been scientifically pushed back a very large number of times just recently, honestly. And so this just makes it increasingly unlikely that the biblical account could actually be true, and they would say impossible that it could actually be true. But what I find interesting about this fact is that they actually have it backwards. The age limit that is given to the universe has actually been brought closer to now by really an infinite factor within just the past 100 years. I mean, in the early 1900s, people actually believed, and many of them scientists who studied physics, who studied astronomy, all of these things, were people who believed that the universe had always existed in some form or another, that it was just like, possibly matter was being created in certain, ex nihilo far away. That was what they called steady state theory in the early 1900s. But anyway, the point is, the scientific conception was that the universe had always existed. And then a few decades later, we now have people who are saying, hey, guess what? The universe didn't always exist. So when you have an idea of the past being infinite, and then you have this idea that, oh no, wait, there was a beginning, you've just brought the origin of the universe infinitely closer to you. So if they fiddled with the dates a little bit back and forth and they're reevaluating their opinions on how old it is now, that's not really an argument that they're not going to reevaluate them again. In fact, given that they actually used to think the universe was eternal and now think that it's not, which just sounds to me like in the beginning God created the heaven and the earth, I think it is very likely that at some point in the future, possibly the near future, possibly the further future, that they will come across some kind of an X factor in science, in the same way that they came across the X factor of redshift of stars and things like that, which ultimately led to them thinking that the universe had an origin. I think they will eventually come across an X factor that will give them reason to believe that the Earth is, between 6 and 10,000 years old, depending on how you count it. So you can think that might be unreasonable, but I think it's not really a totally unreasonable thing to hold to. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. God bless you, and may the Spirit of the Lord lead you into all truth.